Hello, comic collecting pals. Now, here's the thing. So, Christmas. Are we excited about Christmas? We're not excited about Christmas. Do we not celebrate Christmas? Whatever. A few things about Christmas. And the first one is I want to tell you about a long standing tradition in my family. Now, this dates back to, let me see, the summer of 2025 and my birthday. And both my lovely wife and my sister were like, "Well, what do you want for your birthday?" And I had a cunning plan. So we started the tradition of, I said, "Well, you give me a budget and I will pick a comic and I will get that comic, inspect it on arrival, give it to you for safekeeping until my birthday. And then you can give it to me and we'll all be happy, especially." So we did that this summer, and the idea was it was like, right, during People with Issues episodes, recently I've started saying to people, if I gave you X amount of money tomorrow, what would you buy? And it might be sometimes just things on people's wish list. In my case, if I was looking at spending some money on books tomorrow, I'd be thinking about what I need for my collection, various runs or other odd sub collection things that I want to fulfill. But for this, I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to pick a few sellers, online sellers that I like, whether it's eBay or direct from the shop, and I'm going to look through what they've got, and I'm going to pick something that meets that budget. Pure candy, nothing necessarily to do with it. I mean, if I saw something that fit in with the collection, fine, but something I wouldn't normally buy. And therefore, the two things I picked up, I think with the money that my sister got me, I got this Jungle Comics 151, which is from 1952 with a Morris Whitman cover, from Fiction House Publishing. Isn't that lovely? And I probably wouldn't normally have bought a copy of that. So nice bit of golden age action for me. And I love it. I love having it in the collection, and it's got a special association because my sister got it for me, technically. My the comic that I got with my wife's budget was this Tales of Suspense 23, which you'll possibly either have seen on the wall behind me before, The Creature from the Black Bog. So from 1961, Ditko Kirby cover, written by Stan Lee and Larry Lieber. And also Ayers and Ryman contributed to that. So that's about a 4.0. Absolutely gorgeous. So there we go. So I'm looking forward to doing the same thing this year. I don't know. I've no idea what I'm going to get. As soon as my wife says, "Okay, you can have X amount," I'll get on that and look forward to picking something and sharing with you what I've got. So really, really nice idea. And I thought about doing something similar for people that might not appreciate it. We'll see. At work, somebody organised a Secret Santa thing. I was off at the time, so they decided I'd love to be involved in it. So what I decided to do was get the person whose name I drew a comic. Are they into comics? Don't think so. However, previously I got a comic for one of my managers on their birthday, and they were absolutely blown away. I'll come back to why. So the comic I chose for this individual, I went online and found, is a British comic, and it is Star-Lord, a copy of Star-Lord, and this is from 1978. It's pretty colourful, it's pretty funky, it's in good condition, I have to say. So what have we got here? And it's not a comic I'm familiar with. It's not one I got back in the day. From 1978. On the back, of Star-Lord's hardware profile number 5, Merca ship, multi-role combat attack ship. I don't know what that's about, or why these astronauts are being threatened by what looks like an air freshener or a low watt light bulb. I'm not sure. Dave from 35 Cents would know. He'd know. He'll have done a feature on this already. But as with these old British comics, some of the black and white artwork looks fantastic. The only art credit in here is Redondo. Now, that might mean something to British collectors. I'm not familiar with it. It sounds like a dance move to me. I don't know. However, can you do the Redondo? Yeah, so written by Alan Hebden, art Redondo, lettering John Aldrich. I mean, you know, disrespect, gentlemen. So it is in black and white. This story continues, but now this I am familiar with. Strontium Dog. That's some, I think, 2000 AD type stuff. I need on this channel. I need a guest who can bang on about 2000 AD and British sci-fi stuff. Because it's not kind of stuff I was really into when I was younger. 2000 AD is not really my wheelhouse, and I want to find out more about it and have someone give us a bit of an education. So it goes on alternating color and black and white. But why did I pick this for my manager? Well, it's because it's from 9th of September, 9th of September 1978, the day he was born. Likewise for my wife's birthday recently, even though it wouldn't sort of press her into sort of comics and stuff like that, knew she was a massive fan of Misty. She would be, because Misty is one of the most expensive British comics you can try and get hold of. Weekly copies like this one of Misty, which kind of targeted at a female audience, but it was sort of like supernatural, spooky, chillery type things. Can run sort of 17 to 25 pounds an issue, which is really expensive. I managed to get an annual for her for quite a reasonable price, and she's been dipping in and out of that for weeks. Just absolutely loves it. So comics make great gifts, and I think even sometimes if the person's not that into comics, if you can find the right thing with an association or date or what have you, it can be something quite special. And even if they're not, it's the kind of thing I think they appreciate the thought that you've put into it. So there we go. There's some Christmas tips from Mr. McGroovy. Okay, time for another segment. I've just been busy with People with Issues episodes and slow in getting around to this, but I really need to do it because just a few weeks ago, when I started the channel, my thinking was in 6 to 12 months, if I had about a dozen people who I was in touch with and chatting with and, talking comics and stuff with and doing YouTube things with, that would be amazing. I actually got there in 2 weeks. I've got this bunch of fabulous people I can sort of message through the week, respond to comments with on content, stuff like that. And that's just because, if you're watching this, you're contributing to that. And I'm so, so grateful. And there's a list of people I really need to get through and say some initial thanks to. So I am going to rip through this list. And if you're watching this and you're on it and I owe you a thank you, you bloody well tell me and I'll make that right. So let's start. I'm going to start straight off. Mike from Lunch Money Comics, Brandon from Mon Comics. Without those two guys, I probably wouldn't be doing this, not on YouTube anyway. Inspiration, support. Mike was great at sort of listening to my ideas for the channel and some fantastic advice. Brandon, raw enthusiasm. What a guy. Absolutely amazing. So I'm really grateful, really, really grateful to them. My guests, without guests, there is no People with Issues episodes, and you'd be listening to me chatting every week, which wouldn't have half as many views, I'm sure. So Carl, the legend, Raf, Mike from Portsmouth, Kevin from Doc's Comics. I love doing the episodes I've got up with them. And it's not going to spoil anything to say big shout out as well to Adam, Peter, and Terry, who I've already recorded episodes with, and they'll be coming up soon. Robbie Josephs is a legendary collector who everybody knows, and also a legendary YouTube channel supporter. So much support. Amazing guy, total sweetheart, and it's been fantastic kind of getting to know him. And every day on Instagram, he posts images of covers from his collection, which are just fantastic. So make sure you get a look at those. In the UK, Fuzzy Dunlop. So this is a guy when I put out sort of cast a net to see if I could get British people that want to come and do episodes because I really didn't know any collectors in the UK. Fuzzy said, "It's not. I don't particularly want to do an episode myself, but here's a couple of guys you should speak to." And I have spoke to them and I've done episodes with them, and they're both brilliant. Also, Fuzzy regularly sort of comments on content on the channel, and also does fantastic posts on threads and Instagram. So I'm immensely grateful to you, mate. I really am. Who have we got? Dave's Ideas and Creations. He's got a brilliant, funny. He's got a brilliant YouTube channel. I think his posts and episodes are really funny. His adventures in building his collection. And he's been kind enough to watch some content here and comment on it. Steve J. Hughes, he's one of these guys who you kind of see in the chat on a lot of things worldwide. And he's been really awesome at shouting out hello when we bump into each other in a chat thing, or watching and commenting here as well. Dave from Still Only 35 Cents was really surprised to see him pop up in the comments on one of the videos on the channel. So it's really kind of lovely to know that he's sort of keeping an eye on things as well. Matt Likes Comics, one of the first people to subscribe, I think. He's obviously got his own fantastic channel and does live interviews as well, and a lot of show and tell, as well as a lot of other features and crossover on the live stuff that the guys in the States do. He's a big fan of his, so it was pretty awesome to see him comment, I think, early on. Bless him. Uncanny Derek from Canada, who's got a fantastic sense of humour and one of the best theme songs. Links to anyone who's got a channel, or I'll mention their names below for Instagram posts and stuff like that. So if you're not familiar with them, you can check them out. Comic Mike, another Canadian superstar who I love watching his stuff, and every week he posts something with pickups, and you never know what he's going to show next. It's quite an eclectic mix. Really, really nice guy. GSS Brooklyn, another one who just you see everywhere in chat things. If you go into live things, he's there. I think he does a lot of moderating work as well. He's superb. He's been over at Looked Stuff on the channel and left comments, and just a terrific guy. Jeff from Comic Spa, who, if you don't know who he is, he's a legend in the field of cleaning, pressing, and all that sort of stuff. But the guy's knowledge and his processes and stuff he goes through is amazing. If you're not familiar with it, head over to Lunch Money Comics. Mike's done some videos that feature Jeff, some which show his processes, and some which show part of his awesome collection. Really nice guy. So we're really honoured to see him pop up and comment on one of the bits of content as well. Who have we got next? A couple of folk. George Prince left a comment early on the channel, and I don't know who George is, but I'm very grateful for it. So if you're still around, say hi. Garage Geek 4863, another great YouTube channel where you will often see pickups, and you can never be too sure what you're actually going to see. So really great fun stuff. Big shout out to my friend. I'm not going to say his name, but if on Instagram you look up TNERB 1107, TNERB 1107, or on YouTube, My Comic Room, and particularly on Instagram, G-Nerb has a lot of short videos. He's great at doing videos. His presence on the camera and his voice, which sounds a little bit like Jonah from the Spider-Man films, in the best possible way. You can see great stuff that he picks up, his thoughts on bits and pieces, and tips on storage and stuff like that. We've been chatting quite a bit recently, and it's been great to get to know him. A few of the guys with, so I think some of the well-known channels on YouTube, Rob's Fat Stacks, which is always a challenge to say properly in one take. Rob's been really awesome with support and comments. Brian LCS, who's a legend, does like the other guys, does so much work for the comics community, comics YouTube community, and everything comics related. Honored to see him here. Chonko. Chonko's a legend. I love watching his content. I think he's funny. I think he's brilliant. And he sent quite a number of people to the channel to subscribe, and you get these messages going, "Yeah, Chonko sent me. He said there'd be barbecue." So probably they might come back a bit skinnier than when they left, Chonko. But big thanks to you. I really appreciate your support. And Big B McFly, legendary West Coast artist in the States. Big B's the first person to spontaneously invite me onto their channel while he was drawing. It was very early in the morning here for me. I was sitting drinking my coffee. Hair was all over the place, wasn't sort of properly dressed or anything. He was like, "Yeah, jump on, man. I'll send you a link." And I had a fantastic half an hour talking to him, watching him while he produced this incredible work. And we've had quite a bit of chat, Big B and I, and it's just a real privilege to know him. He's just an absolute sweetheart. My best mate, Kev, who's got nothing to do with comics or anything else, but was very enthusiastic about the channel. My sister and my big sister, my older sister, by some distance, because I know she won't watch this. Very helpful when I was having some technical nightmares in setting up the channel. And finally, most importantly, Mrs. McGroovy, Dr. McGroovy. My wife, we only got married last year. We only moved in together a couple of years ago. When I said, look, I want to get all of my comics out of these storage boxes and build a display in the lounge and do this and do that, I'm happy. She's like, "Yeah, you go for it." And when I did it, she's like, "Wow, these are fantastic." And you start getting into it. And I even bought her a few comics and she started reading a few. So you never know. In setting up the channel, she had no hesitation in being banished to another room with her phone or iPad or what have you, so we could test doing interviews and stuff like that. An absolute trooper. And it's an old cottage we live in, so in terms of space and soundproofing, it's not particularly good. So when I am doing a recording, this is the arse end of our living room because it's the best place from the comics. When I'm doing a recording, she'll corral the cats in another room and try and make sure everything stays quiet while I can do the recording. And she's really, really touched by the comments everyone's left on the videos. Like me, she's really blown away by that. The subs, the likes, and all that stuff, great. But the comments, the interaction, we're both incredibly grateful. She's an absolute superstar, and I'm very, very lucky to have her, and I love her to bits. I love you all to bits. And with that, it's time to move on to another segment. But alas, there was no other segment, for Mr. McGroovy, in his advancing years, overcome with the emotion of giving thanks to all those that he truly had to thank and has much love for, completely forgot he was at the end of his episode. And thus, he said, "Time for another segment," when what he should have said was, "Until next time, stay groovy."